This is something I think about all the time. What are the indigenous words for queerness? And all the, queerness is so broad and beautiful and diverse. And if we look at a lot of other Native cultures, there are so many amazing words to describe all the different variations of queerness, all the different names for queerness, gay, lesbian, bisexual, non-binary, there's a lot of words. There's beautiful words like just really that go beyond the limitation of the binary, which is man and woman, even to encompass both genders, all genders, the spectrum of gender, because man and woman, that binary is so limited for identity. And so yeah, what are our words? And it is really hard. And a lot of the words, if we look at, I feel like are some of them are from our colonial history, our colonial experience. And so you and I were talking, and Gela is one word that comes to mind. Gela, was used, of course, to describe like a feminine man, and it can be or a gay person, and it was used in a derogatory way, in a mean way, but it's been reclaimed really by Guma Gela, as this beautiful way of it reclaiming and indigenizing, being proud of indigenous queerness, right? And so Gumagela, of course, is an amazing group, a creative collective, indigenous creative Chamorro collective, which started in the diaspora actually, and out of a lot of folks in Washington State. And at the beginning of the pandemic, they had a call for a zine, which was so far reaching. And I'll get into a little bit of that later, but Gela is one word. And then another one is Manflorita, which is also a mean word, can be described, has been described used to describe like maybe a trans person or non-binary person, maybe somebody who identifies as a trans woman. And so it has been used to hurt people as well. I just wonder what some of the indigenous words were, the sacred words around our queerness that may have been lost because of, our colonial history through over 300 years of violent missionization and of course the American patriarchy as well, and militarization, right? Like, what are the words? And of course, the Catholic Church has really influenced that, looking into even some of the colonial policies that might have directly or indirectly impacted gender expression and indigenous queerness, knowledge and awareness of it. Of course, one of the things that really impacts that knowledge and language even is visibility. And visibility has been such an issue for queer folks everywhere, indigenous queer folks and folks of color, but definitely here. I always searched for queer elders, and in my family, there are very few. So I think now it's so important also to acknowledge our queer elders. I mean, the Guma Ulitao definitely had some homoerotic action happening, and so did the Guma Lawan, I imagine. And you're absolutely right. The Spanish missionaries, refused to write down the names of the women who ruled the clans, the chiefs, and so that definitely lends to those stereotypes that we were talking to, right? Where Chamorro men are these macho warrior chiefs, right? And the women are these sort of passive maidens. Actually, that's not accurate at all. That's probably, you're right. That's probably where the first erasure of queerness and indigenous women happened. This is what we can do now. We can go and talk to our queer elders. We can interview them. We should find out, we should ask them questions. We should hear their stories, and we should, try to protect and archive them for future generations. It's definitely something I needed as a young person, and looking for queer Chamorro heroes, and I think a lot of folks eventually have to become sort of their own elder hero if they don't find somebody in their family or in their community, and then hopefully can become that person for young folks coming up.